I was part of a business email thread, by the way, this past week or so, where the person said, and if they're listening to this, they'll know who they are, talking about excitement for a project, and said the line, "Scream if you want to go faster." And I thought, oh, I know that sounded good in your head, but not the kind of thing you want to have in a business thread. Anyway, let's just do this. Here we go. Loblaws, Canada's largest grocery retailer, pulled all Folgers coffee products from its stores. The decision came after failed negotiations with J.M. Schmucker Co. regarding what Loblaws deemed significant and unjustified proposed price increases. Loblaws stated the move was to protect customers and help keep prices in check amidst rising food costs. Coffee prices across Canada have been soaring, with coffee and tea rising 13.4% year over year in April. J.M. Schmucker Co. had previously raised prices in June and October of the previous year and signaled further increases were likely. What do we think? I think
thanks, Loblaws, for looking out for our well-being. Where's my bread money?
This is the whole thing, right?
Always looking out for the little guy.
It's like, of course, Loblaws will price to whatever the market will bear. Loblaws and every other business will price whatever the market will bear is the price something should be. That's exactly the price. As far as if you're in business, that's the price it should be. Mm-hmm. And I think Folgers, Schmucker, and Loblaws are just, I mean, of course they're going to be like, yeah, whatever you think. That's too much? Okay, we'll reduce it a little bit.
You just like saying Schmucker.
I do like saying Schmucker a lot.
I have a little point of comparison for us. Coffee prices. How much do you think they have increased since May of 2020?
Well, what are we
Commodity
talking about?
May of 2020.
Oh,
I'm going to say a lot because coffee jumped in the pandemic like massively. I'm going to say like 110%.
About 220.
Wow. I was close.
Coffee prices have skyrocketed. So the next question you have to ask is why? Like, what's actually happened? Coffee is hard to grow. Coffee only grows in very specific regions, very specific climates, very specific soil types. Coffee is not an easy crop to grow.
I like your delivery on that line because it makes it sound like you've been trying really hard to grow coffee yourself. Coffee's really hard to grow.
You think I haven't?
It's been really difficult and hard on us as a couple.
Sharing that one bean, that one teeny tiny bean.
The teeny beanie.
Nope.
No, go there.
That's the thing. But it's climate change is impacting a lot of different industries, and what you're going to find is stuff that's grown closer to the equator is the stuff that's going to get hit first. And so climate change is affecting stuff like coffee prices a ton. And so you're going to get a bunch of people saying like, oh, well, they're ripping us off. It's like, no, it's just way harder to grow coffee than it was a couple of years ago, and it's only getting more difficult. For Loblaws, like, this is a very easy PR move for them. Because like they are able to just say like, oh yeah, we're fighting to protect your prices. We are going to keep that $20 a pound coffee on the shelf. The cheap Folgers, that's got to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I think as well, it's, that it is more difficult to grow coffee. There's lots of climate change implications with growing coffee. But I think the timing of that increase from 2020 with the pandemic was very much a case of we've got a bunch of people at home drinking pots of coffee now that weren't drinking pots of coffee before. Mm-hmm. And that reduced the supply, which increased the price, which then made the manufacturer go, hey, we can charge more money for this. This is easy.
So now I'm incredibly curious about your coffee consumptions.
That's a good question.
How much coffee do you guys drink?
I get 2 cups a day maximum. One's usually a decaf though.
Mm. Like just drip coffee?
No, I have the biodegradable pods. And a Keurig.
I like that you had to highlight biodegradable.
Well, because
I swear I'm not killing the environment.
You don't want the tree huggers coming after us.
They're made by Pure Pod. It's a Canadian invention. I did 2 campaigns for them. Made by Pure Pod. They're
get that name you dropped.
Pure Pod.
Hang on.
That's all right. They're owned by a Chinese company now. They're never paying me again.
Oh, okay, there you go.
They were Canadian. And the hard shell part of the outside, the rim of it and the outside is made from coffee bean shells, which is fantastic. Oh, nice. And they fully biodegrade. Like you could put them in a food cycler and they'll go down to just mulch. Which is
mush,
yeah.
I'll usually have about 3 double espressos a day.
You don't say, Steve.
Look, it's not my fault my heart's stuck on hummingbird.
I can feel the vibration from Alberta.
I don't think my blood pressure measurement machine would go that high. That's horrible. No. 3 espressos. What are you, Italian? Oh, you're French. I forgot.
I'm Italian and I can't do 3 espressos.
That's true. Yeah.
But like it's not like we saw it with olives, right? I mean, it depends on the crop. It depends on the season. Olive oil went through the roof, right? We see it sometimes if it's a bad growing year in BC when we're all craving our BC fruit that actually tastes like something. And, you know, it goes up. I don't think this is we're doing it for the people from Loblaws. They don't do anything for the people.
No,
Let's be
they're
real.
doing it for the PR.
Right,
and
they're doing
like,
it for the
I
PR.
feel like Folgers is not a particularly high volume brand these days. I feel like most people have moved on to like other brands or Canadian
I
brands.
think as far as like cheap coffee goes, it's pretty good, but I feel the majority of people who are buying Folgers coffee are going to be buying it from Walmart. They're not going to be buying it from Loblaws anyway.
Right? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
well,
maybe.
and like, I feel like anybody buying Folgers coffee is going to be like, okay, well, I don't care. I'll just grab Nabob tomorrow.
Maybe.
Unless it's crystals. If it's Folgers crystals, then like
The freeze-dried crystals.
Oh, crystals.
Were those commercials from back in the day?
Chicory. With
I just-
with chicory.
I just remember the Chris Farley Saturday Night Live one where like they're like, we switched his coffee for Folgers crystals, and he just like goes ballistic.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something fantastic, and I've totally forgotten it about now.
Something about Folgers.
I'm curious about what your olive oil consumption is.
3 cups a day.
Thank you, Steve. I tee him up. You knock him out of the park.
That caught me off guard.
Here's a question for you. Is the decision to pull Folgers coffee, though, going to be an effective strategy to pressure other suppliers against price increasing? Because every step along the supply chain is going to, as I say, whatever price they can get away with, whatever price the market will bear is the price it's going to be. So is it going to have any effect on maybe other brands or other products that are more reliant upon Loblaws to be like, okay, well, we're not going to push our luck. We're going to keep our price where it is?
I doubt it. I really think this is just a PR move. I think this is just, look, we care. Ignore that bread price fixing payment.
Right?
Yeah.
It's been going on
Don't
for
worry
7
about
years.
that. We're the
Yeah.
good guys.
Yeah.
We care about you. Don't worry about Galen Weston's castle.
With Loblaws buying power, it's an odd thing to me. But like, because I don't shop at Superstore, so do they have like a comparable where we know it's made in the same factory, but it just has a Loblaws?
Memories of coffee.
Is that it? Could be. Could be. I
Memories
don't know.
of being awake. Yeah.
I'm I'm putting my trust in you losers, and you're just
I,
making
as a
fun of
matter
me.
of principle, do not go to Loblaws stores.
Really? Interesting.
So I have the good fortune of the nearest grocery store to me being the Co-op.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And so Dee and I get most of our stuff there. We go to the Co-op, and then we go to Costco for all the stuff you can't get there.
All right. I'm a Sobeys man myself.
Noted leftist institution Costco.
Cool.
Yes.
I know, right? Yeah, I know. But hey, you get a lot of it. We used to have a lot of Sobeys in Edmonton, and I don't know, they've gone away. I used to like Sobeys too, but they're also villainous in what they do. No, I'm just curious if because that happens, right? It's like the same product, it's just packaged differently and sold. So that's what I'm like. Is this some kind of game that they're playing? Of like, we're not going to buy Folgers, but please buy our brand,
Which is
in
Folgers.
the yellow, which is Folgers in a yellow package.
Folgers coffee.
Folgers.
Unrelated. I mean, yeah, it can be, because I mean, one of the things that Walmart does, I remember reading in the Walmart Effect, fantastic book, saying how Walmart would go to its suppliers and say, we want this cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And the suppliers would be like, well, we can't sell you our regular product that cheaply because we'll lose a ton of money elsewhere. You're not the only game in town.
Mm-hmm.
However, you're important to us. So we're going to make a special version of our product instead. And I could see that happening.
I think that happens with Loblaws.
We'll make something much lower quality for you.
It happened with, I mean, I in the book, it states a study about how the Levi's jeans you buy at Walmart are now, I'm not going to say they are not, allegedly are very inferior quality to regular Levi's jeans.
So like the reject pile.
Not
so
rejects.
Like
they're made especially for Walmart.
But what would be considered a Levi's reject, right?
I just
Maybe.
picture somebody checking the label.
Like
literally
less
thinner.
stitching. Yeah, less stitching.
Yeah,
and
less
all that kind of
stitching,
stuff.
You check the label and there's no apostrophe. It's just Levis.
Just Levis. Those Levi's?
Leave us alone. Leave us alone.
Levis jeans. Final question for this news story. 2 questions, actually. Which coffees are you drinking at home, and what are you paying per coffee?
To do math? I don't know.
I drink the coffee that's in the bag in the pantry, and it costs whatever.
How much the bag costs from when you're putting it in the pantry.
Okay, so I get my Costco coffee from Costco, obviously, and it is an item in my life where I am price elastic. I will whatever that coffee costs, I'm just paying it,
right? Because
I needs it.
And you're not pods, are you? You're grounds.
No,
he's a bean man.
I'm
nope.
Fresh.
Nope.
Okay. No, you're going to laugh because like for my birthday, my wife got me like the most elaborate coffee stuff. So I've got like a whole dealie, like you grind it fresh.
Oh, nice.
And then I've got like a little special stirry thing. And then I've got a little special leveling thing. There's a whole
an offshoot channel on your YouTube for you. This is what really grinds my beans.
So anybody at home who is listening, who is into coffee YouTube knows like there's no space because there's one guy who owns it so completely.
Right. Yeah. It could just be a premise, just a little framing.
He's much more charming and much more British than I could ever hope to be.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're out.
That could be anybody. And what would you pay? You have no idea. So Lisa, what's your coffee of choice and what do you pay?
Oh, I'm going to get canceled for this. I like the Tim Hortons pods. Because I like vanilla. I know. I don't actually like. Again,
just shut this down.
I don't like. I'm waiting for the sound of the Lord to come.
Straight to the gulag.
I don't like regular coffee. I like vanilla flavored coffee. And so
I like my coffee to not taste like coffee.
Yeah. I shouldn't say that. I bought Timothy's for a while. Like it's whatever's on sale, basically, that has vanilla in it.
That's fair.
Right? That's kind of what I go for. And I try to get the ones processed in Canada because we ain't growing beans here, right? So
I mean, given climate change, give it a couple of years.
Right, maybe, right? It's goddamn dry here. Yeah, that's me.
I have not a very discerning palate when it comes to coffee. So I will right now I'm currently drinking Balzac's Farmer's Blend, which is very good. But
it sounds potent.
I think you just wanted an excuse to say Balzac.
I didn't say Balzac. I said Balzac's.
He gets Balzac beans.
You guys are so juvenile. I don't like being the oldest person here.
It's only my first coffee. That's why.
I see. But I think it works out to be about roughly maybe 85 cents a cup, roughly.
Yeah, mine's probably in and around there.
Yeah, I would guess like it's cheaper to not use pods, right? So I'm going to guess probably somewhere around there. Like I think coffee's like 20 some odd bucks a pound these days.
Yeah.
Or for not a pound, for like a big kilogram bag.
Right. Yeah. And I think I'm like $14 for 12 pods, 12 cups of coffee, essentially.
Okay.
Interesting. There you go. So Folgers, not available at Loblaws, won't affect us at all.
Who needs you?
There you go. So that's another fantastic episode of Podcast is Broken. Thank you so much for subscribing or following or whatever you do. Just listening, just being there for us when we're quiet and lonely.
Thank you for being a friend.
It's nice to hang out.
For those of you subscribers, we've been asked to stop doing the improvised theme song and immediately voted that as a deal breaker. We're not stopping. We just can't stop. Plus, I haven't taken my QY10 machine away, so it's still here, and I'll be using that.
Can't stop, won't stop.
So if you're a subscriber, stick around for that, so you can complain about it. And otherwise, we'll see you guys later. So take care.
Bye, everybody.
Take care of yourselves, folks.
You can find past episodes and more at podcastisbroken.ca or your favorite podcast platform.